This is a meditation to help you express compassion for someone you're having a difficult time with or that you're angry with. To begin with, get in a comfortable position, either lying down or sitting. Ideally, you should be in a location where you won't be interrupted during today's meditation. Allowing your gaze to soften and your eyelids to close either partially or fully. Taking a moment to take a few cleansing breaths. Allowing yourself to get settled in your body. Bringing your awareness back to your breath and your breath's natural rhythm and pace. Not trying to control your breath, just noticing the rhythm of your breath and its own natural pace, and allowing your breath to be. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting your breath nourish you and support you and relax you and soothe you. Now I invite you to use some kind of compassionate touch. So that might mean putting one hand over another on top of your heart. It could mean resting your palms face up on your lap, or gently resting your hands at the side of you, or embracing yourself with a warm hug. You're looking to tap into a sense of loving awareness and kindness here, a sense of warmth and compassion for yourself. This warmth, this compassion that you're trying to tap into is the same warmth and compassion that we'll be using to give towards this person that you're having a difficult time with. But first, allowing yourself to generate that warmth, loving awareness and kindness, compassion for yourself, as this might be a difficult meditation for you today. You can use this compassionate touch during the duration of today's meditation, or you can allow your hands and your arms to rest in a comfortable position. Whatever you decide to do, you just want to make sure that you're comfortable. Allowing yourself to sit quietly in the stillness of your breath. I want you to bring to mind that you are staring at this person that you're having a difficult time with. So this may be a child, a significant other, or a partner, coworker, a parent, or someone else that you're struggling with. And I challenge you today, instead of looking at this person as your enemy, to instead look at this person as someone who you're having a difficult time with, someone who also is experiencing suffering. Letting a vivid image of that person to materialize in your mind, as if you're sitting in the presence of this person whom you're having a difficult time with. Now I want you to think of the ways in which this other person that you're struggling with, the ways that they've caused you some kind of suffering. Maybe there's a certain situation or circumstance that occurred. Maybe there's a series of different circumstances or situations that have occurred that have led to these feelings of anger, frustration, or other types of negativity towards this being. Now I want you to acknowledge this is a moment of suffering for you, that this being has caused you some type of suffering. And if it feels right, you can use that compassionate touch to tap into that sense of loving kindness and warmth and compassion for yourself in this moment of suffering. Allowing yourself to acknowledge your suffering and to feel supported by this compassionate part of you. Now, as you imagine this other person that's sitting right in front of you that you're having a difficult time with or you're struggling with, I want you to imagine what kind of suffering they might be experiencing in their own lives. This may be certain patterns of behavior that you've noticed, certain types of thought patterns that this person might have, or other characteristics that you've noticed. Or it might mean that you know some personal information about this other being. You're just trying to call to mind in which ways this other being sitting right in front of you may also be suffering. This may be a difficult task for you to do, and if it is difficult, because there might be some anger there that wants to cloud or protect you in some way, just allowing yourself to acknowledge what it is that's occurring, and to acknowledge that it's okay if it is hard. This may take some practice, especially when there's some anger there or resentment. Now I want you to dig deep. I want you to dig deep and think of ways in which this other person has at some point caused you some kind of happiness or done something else in a loving way towards you. Now I want you to dig deep. I want you to imagine what exactly it is that makes this other person happy, and what other things may be causing this other being suffering in their own lives. So maybe this other person has dealt with some other conflicts with loved ones, or they've experienced some kind of illness at some point, or that they too have dealt with their own failures. You're just trying to think of a situation in which this other person has at some point experienced suffering just as you have experienced your own suffering. All humans experience suffering. Might not be the same types of suffering, but all humans experience suffering. As you acknowledge this other being, this other person has experienced their own suffering, I again invite you to use that compassionate and soothing touch to help you tap into a sense of openness, tenderness, compassion, and warmth for this other being, this other person, as you acknowledge that they too have experienced suffering. Taking a moment to notice what it feels like for you to express compassion, loving kindness for this other person, even though it's been difficult, that they've caused you some kind of suffering in some way. Bringing your awareness to your breath and your breathing, as your breath has its own natural pace and rhythm. I want you to imagine that you have the ability to breathe in qualities of compassion and loving kindness for yourself and for this other being. With each inhalation, breathing in these qualities for yourself and this other person, letting those qualities fill you and nourish you, and with each exhalation of your breath, offering the qualities of compassion and loving kindness to this other being that too is suffering. Breathing in qualities of compassion, loving kindness, and other qualities that you and this other being needs. Breathing out and offering these qualities of compassion, loving kindness, and other qualities that this other being needs in this moment. It might help you to visualize you're breathing in these qualities as a warm light that enters into your body with each inhalation that fills your heart with these qualities. And then with each exhalation, breathing out a warm light, offering these qualities to this other person that has caused you suffering. Now I invite you to offer, say a phrase to yourself and this other being in front of you. This other phrase is, "May you and I be free from this suffering." May you and I have peace in this relationship. May you and I be kind and compassionate towards one another. Allowing yourself to linger, what it feels like to say these phrases to this other being that has caused you some kind of suffering. Also taking note that within you, you have the capacity to offer compassion for yourself and compassion for others. Noticing any sensations or any difference that you might feel in your heart as you express compassion for this other being today. Maybe there's a gentleness, an openness, or a tenderness. Or maybe this was difficult for you to do. Allowing yourself to acknowledge whatever experience that you had today. As we get ready to end this meditation, bringing your awareness back to your breath, feeling the rise and the fall of your belly with each inhalation and exhalation of your breath. Bringing your awareness back to any physical sensations you might be experiencing in your body before gently waking the body up by wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, swaying in your seat. Letting yourself rest peacefully and quietly in the experience that you had. Letting yourself feel settled in your body. When it feels right, opening your eyes, scan your environment, bringing yourself fully back to the present moment, looking around the room or wherever you are, noticing any shapes or colors that you might see there, noticing any sounds that you might be hearing in your surroundings. And remembering, compassion is within you. Compassion is within you not only for yourself, but you have the capacity to express compassion towards others, even if it may be difficult to do so. And you can return to this meditation anytime that you need to help you tap into the quality of compassion and express this quality of compassion for yourself and for others in times when it may be difficult.